Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam.
Shiva is the god of the yogis. He is self-controlled and celibate, while also the lover of his spouse, Shakti. There is a balance of male and female within his marriage with his spouse. Both partners complement each other, and they form ultimate oneness. Their son is Ganesh. Shiva is the destroyer of the world, following Brahma, the creator, and Vishnu, the preserver. Shiva is responsible for the change both in form of death and destruction or purification, and in the positive sense of destroying one's ego or false identification with the physical form. This includes shedding old habits and physical attachments. Shiva represents the most essential goodness, and in yoga and meditation, he takes on the most absolute form. Not only is the mind stopped, but everything is dropped. Shiva also is known to have a form of dance of destruction and creation. And the unborn symbol of Lord Shiva is the Shiva Lingam, and this represents the male creative energies. Shiva is seen with 4 arms. He holds a deer in the upper left hand, has a trident, which represents essence, activity, and inertia, in the right lower arm. He wears a crescent moon on his head. He is said to be very fair in complexion, like an ice-clad mountain. He wears 5 serpents as ornaments and a garland of skulls. He is also seen pressing his feet on a demon, a dwarf-like creature holding a cobra, and the cobra represents Shiva's power beyond death, and he is always seen facing south. Shiva beats a 2-sided drum, which represents the rhythm of heartbeat, as well as creating the sound of in the overtones. He rides the white bull Nandi, the joyful, and is usually either wearing or sitting on a white tiger, which represents the intellect. The number 5 is sacred to Shiva. He is associated with it in various ways. In various texts, he is associated with the 5 elements, the 5 senses, the 5 organs of perception, and the 5 organs of action. He also is known to have 5 forms, each having a mantra of their own. I invoke thee, great God of essential goodness, by your mysteries of destruction and purification, by the dance of destruction and creation. I invoke thee, Shiva. I invoke thee. From the south, riding Nandi, reveal yourself to me. Embrace me in your arms. God with 5 faces, God of the 5 elements, bring forth to me my ultimate reality. Enlighten me with the secrets of all that exists. Hey everyone, it's CricketSong of Lunar Wisdom, and I am here to talk to you about Shiva. I have been working with the god Shiva for January and the goddess Sarasvati for January, but this video is primarily about my experiences with Shiva. This week I began this past Wednesday, and I will continue this Wednesday with a fasting. And during this time, I am the first day of the fast and the last day of the fast, I'm consuming juice, but for the rest of the week, I've been consuming nothing but distilled water. And I'm sure many of you are going, yeah, so what? How does that relate to Shiva? Well, the whole idea with my fasting, it is a health thing to detoxify my body, but it is also a spiritual event for me. And this fast, I have experienced not a lot of physical releasing. My body seems to be very well adjusted to fasting and has released a lot of the attachments to food and the preservatives and all that junk, that sugar and caffeine and all that stuff that we put in food. But what I've been experiencing is a lot of emotional, mental stuff. And a lot of that is not only my emotional attachment to food, but also a lot of the psychological things and emotional things that surround food for me. And Shiva, Lord Shiva, has helped me a great deal. He is the god of destruction and creation. And when he is the god of destruction, he's not only the god of physical destruction, but emotional destruction, the release of old things, old habits, false attachments to things. And that is what he's helping me do during this fast. He is helping me release my emotional, psychological, and mental attachments to food and old thoughts, old habits. He has helped me a great deal. Yesterday was such an experience that I had during meditation. He showed me my own demons. He showed me that I am strong, that in destroying these attachments, I am able to open myself up to the ability to create what I want, destroying the ego and allowing the spiritual enlightenment to happen that I've been searching for. And he is helping me in such a profound way. I thank him, and it's just so amazing. I have been listening to the mantra that you are listening to, that I am playing underneath this video, and I have been playing it quite frequently. I'm sure my husband and children are sick of hearing it, but it helps me get into that meditative state. I've also purchased my Shiva Lingam, which I showed you in that little clip of the invocation that I've done earlier in the week, actually earlier in the month, to help me connect with Shiva and invoke him into my life. And I purchased that Shiva Lingam earlier in the month as well, so that I can actually connect in a more profound way, which obviously has worked for me. It's an amazing energy and God to work with, and I am very grateful for his company. And that's about it. I'm going to do a new moon ritual tomorrow night, and it'll be a very quiet ritual. It'll be mostly me meditating and speaking directly to Shiva and thanking him for the work he's been doing with me and releasing him. So I look forward to next month to work with another god, and I will have a video about Sarasvati hopefully in the next couple of days to share my experience with her as well. Love you guys. Mwah.
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mokshiyamamruta.